Hey, okay, I guess we're recording now. I just wanted to make a quick response video to the video depicting the black guy or African American on the bus in Gyeonggi-do who lashed out at the elderly Korean couple because of a misunderstanding in what the man said or his translation of what the man said. I've been watching a few response videos and I've been reading some of the comments, and at first I didn't feel like it was necessary to make a response video of my own, but now, after reading more comments today and watching more response videos, I see that it's catching on, and I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there about not only what happened in my reaction to the video, but people's reaction to the video kind of as a whole, kind of how society responds when we see these cultural clashes and when we see these cultural miscommunications, and how we in turn ourselves respond. So anyway, for those of you who don't know what happened, watch the original video, and I don't have a link to it while I'm uploading this. Maybe I'll put it on there when I upload it. But basically, the video starts where the guy is just verbally lashing at the elderly man, and from reports of the description of what happened, apparently the elderly man said, "Niga yogi anja," you can sit here, and "niga" has just been misinterpreted as the other word, the N word. I'm not gonna say it. Everybody knows what it is, and I think it's really unfortunate that that any similarity in sound or any similarity with anything, like anytime any person hears a word close to that word, then they automatically associate the N word with whatever word they heard. And I think that's really unfortunate on the part of people who are doing the listening or people who are doing the translating, because you know it's not, and we shouldn't be so quick to offense when we hear words that sound similar, because not every country has a background or history where language carries such deep-rooted feeling like our American history does. And I know the N word evokes a lot of feeling in a lot of people, myself included. But as someone who has studied the Korean language for 2 short years, I can see that the Korean language is so rich and so vast. And the more you learn about Korean language, the more you know that Korean language has structures of politeness level, very formal, very high level, and very respectable, to just kind of mid-level respectable, to pamma, which is low or casual or informal speech. So you can't just paint every person or every language with one broad stroke. In any case, the black American misunderstood what was being said to him. Niga was misinterpreted, but just a quick translation. Ni means you. Ni, it means you. That's all it means. It's a colloquial way of saying you, or it's a rather less formal way of saying you. The man could have said 당신, which also means you, but it's very formal, and in some instances it's unnatural or even awkward to say 당신. But 당신 means you. Ni means you. No means you. But in this case, the man said ni. Ga. Ga is a subject marker. It's used to identify the subject of the sentence. So it goes with words that identify the subject. In this case, ni. Niga. You. That's all it means. Niga yogi. Here. Niga yogi anja. You can sit here. That's all. If that was accurate, if the report was accurate, then that's all the elderly man said to the black American. If something else was said, I don't know, and I didn't read any other reports about it. Apparently, the black man was being loud on his cell phone. I know Koreans probably checked him on this because I have also been checked. I remember one time I was talking to my friends on the subway, and when foreigners talk to other foreigners in casual situations, they tend to be a little bit, I don't know, louder or uh, louder than, Koreans, or louder than they normally would be in other situations. So maybe he was talking loud, and if that case, the elderly man may have tried to, tell him to, be quiet, because it's happened to me before. I didn't take offense to it. I was just being loud on the train, and the guy shushed me. That's all. No biggie, no harm, no foul. Um, but then comes the black man's response. I want to get into that, which was, I mean, if you saw the video, you know his response. If you didn't see the video, go watch the video and then come back here to hear my justification for how I respond to that. It was completely unacceptable. I think his response to even a misunderstanding, even if the guy said what he thought he said, it was still unacceptable. You don't threaten people, you don't verbally bash people, and you don't physically threaten people with violence like this young man did. People are saying he was a teacher. I don't know if that is the case. I mean, maybe they have information that I don't have, but he definitely didn't appear to be a soldier, and I'm not sure he was a teacher. Not all foreigners who come to Korea are here in a working capacity. Some foreigners do come for vacation, for just travel, for leisure, for, sport. So he could have been here with a school, playing for a team. He could have been here, doing volunteer work. He could have been here, just for 2 weeks trying to see the sights. It doesn't matter why he was here. But if he was in fact here teaching, then his behavior is all the more alarming. So anyway, um, it just seems like, this video is starting to get long. Let me wrap it up. It just seems like, one, the reaction to the video, I don't know. I mean, this is just my perception of cultural misunderstandings. But whenever somebody puts a video on YouTube and there's a black person, whether he's American or not, whether there's a black person, caught in some altercation, or some black person is seemingly on the giving end of some kind of social unrest, whether it's on a public bus or the train or what have you, that just kind of gives people this sort of leeway to jump behind their laptops or their desktops and start typing all of this stupid crap, this nonsense, this racially charged ignorance. And that's all it is. It's just ignorance, because they've probably never left their hometowns, or they're probably from a place where there is no racial or ethnic diversity, and they don't know any better. They watch Cops and they think that's everybody. That's all blacks. That's all Latinos. That's all Asians. That's all whatever, or whoever they're looking at the time. So one, we have to break the stereotypes. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened, and luckily it didn't go any further than it did. I think the guy, probably should have been snatched off the bus. I don't know what happened after they stopped filming, but he was definitely wrong, and it wasn't excusable at all. But I think the stereotypes behind everything also play a role. Okay, yeah, he's black and he acted like a fool, but does that mean all black people act like fools in public? No. So why is this racially charged crap showing up, under the video response? Is it sad? Is it unfortunate? Is it a breakdown in communication? Yes. But you can't paint everybody with that one, color because of what one person does. And when we're abroad, we have to be representatives of our country. We also have to be aware of how people perceive us. And, he's on the bus with the backwards cap and he's got dreads. So, yeah, he does stand out. But is he speaking for his race? No. Is he speaking even for his country? No. He isn't speaking for anyone but himself. So he made himself look like an ass. I will attend to that. But did he make all black people look bad? No. Why? Because I'm a black person in America. I am an American black man in Korea, and I don't act like that. So what I saw in the video, I don't relate to that. I don't own that. I don't have anything to do with that. It's just one person's actions. Hopefully, um, I can show that, uh, through my actions, um, I'm not that culturally unaware. I try to observe the social etiquettes when I'm out and dealing with people. Whether I'm buying food or I'm on public transportation or something or another. Um, there's a lot of factors to be considered. There's culture shock. There's this. There's that. There's the other. But we can't dismiss entire groups of people based on the actions of one person, and we can't let the negative actions of one person define the social um, normalcy for an entire group of people. And anyway, I'll stop here because I think my point has just been made. I'm starting to ramble. The video is at 11 minutes already. The point is, let's get it together, people. If you're one of those people who wrote a negative racially charged comment, in reaction to the video, ask yourself, what does that do to solve the situation? What does that do to help the person saying, oh, that's so typical, that black guy, he's so typical, he's just like every other black guy, black people are this, the other, and what does that do to solve the situation? How many black people do you actually know, or have you actually seen act like that? Regardless of what you've seen on TV, in real life, and how many people have you seen who have behaved in a positive way, who have changed those negative stereotypes into positive realities for people who may not have otherwise had an opportunity to meet someone from a different culture. Korea's a homogeneous society, so the influx of foreigners here it can be scary, or it can make a person apprehensive about like meeting someone new, but it doesn't mean that foreigners are bad, or having contact with foreigners has to necessarily end in a negative way. This was, I think, an isolated incident, and for the most part, the foreigners I've come across in Korea and the Koreans I've come across in Korea have been respectable and have been respectful, and there's been no major problems ever. And as a black person, I'm not ready to say, oh, because I'm a black man in Korea, I'm, I'm just used to feeling all this racism or all this tension or this racially charged. No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that at all. There might have been like one time, or, and it wasn't even like something that got me angry. It was just like, oh, you're different. You are black, and this is, it's new, or it's strange, but, something like this. But Koreans are not this naive culture that people make them out to be. Like, there's no contact with the outside world. There's foreigners from every color, religion, creed, race, country here that you can think of. And I have learned a lot about race relations, just seeing how different groups of people interact with each other. And I think we all have a lot to learn. As open as we think we all are, I think we all have a lot to learn. All right. Okay, so here it is. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. I'm stopping here. You don't have to watch this whole response. If you did, thank you for sticking with me. If you cut it off at the first 5 minutes, I don't know, whatever. But, yeah, those are my 2 cents on reaction to the black American exhibiting violence on the Korean bus. All right? Take care. Peace and love, guys. Bye-bye.